All right. Happy Friday. It's September 22nd, 2023. And we're going to be talking about what is selling in the villages. What is selling in the villages? A lot of people were thinking about a year ago, or maybe even more than that there's going to be a market crash. And there has been a difference. I was just looking at this. I was looking at, how many properties were actually on the market back in 2022, like September of 2022. And I did the research. 220 properties, where I was looking at like beginning of September, 220 properties were available on the market back in September of 2022. So I thought that was super interesting. Well, how many properties are on the market now? 314. So, a year ago, if you think about, think about 3 years ago, it's like, seems like forever. We know what was going on 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And a year ago seems like forever ago in a way, but it doesn't. And then I think about all the things that have happened in the last 12 months. It is a long time. You start thinking about this, 220 properties. What was the journey from 220 to we were like 375, 380 on our way to look like it was going to be about 400 homes, right? That's what it looked like. We're going to go over the 400 mark and stay there. They could go back to 450 homes on the marketplace, which is what we saw pre-2020. And we didn't hit it. It didn't happen. So why not? Why didn't it happen? I think there's a couple of reasons why we didn't keep going with more inventory and the reason why I bring this up is, more inventory basically would have meant a little, not a market crash, but definitely a bigger market correction. That would have been a bigger difference. So that would have been an indicator. Some of the people that were advocating for market crash or, oh my gosh, wait. And we're still getting those comments like, oh, things are going to get bad. I guess, things get good and they get bad. Both happens. So is it going to get worse? Yeah, one day it's going to be worse than it is now. It's also possible that one day it's going to be better, right? I don't know why we always think things are always going to be bad. They're going to get worse. And oh my gosh. And I think we're addicted to that sometimes. Sometimes I believe that. So the reality is market is good. It's not great. I think it's a very balanced marketplace for both buyers and sellers, just like I've been talking about for the last year, very, very balanced. Nothing crazy is happening. We've seen a reduction in inventory from about 4 or 5 months ago. And we've seen an increase in inventory if we go year over year, September to September. We're seeing it the proof is in the pudding for sure. So definitely an adjustment in the marketplace. But if you look at it, we're seeing, mid 30s as far as number of homes that are coming on the market, and mid 30s that, the properties that are actually leaving the market, going under contract. So definitely a pretty balanced marketplace. So let's take a look at the numbers. What's selling in the villages? We've got, right now, and I like to look at, and you're looking at MLS right now. This is MLS, not BLS. MLS, you're looking at the actives, but let's go to pending properties, because I think that's what's under contract, 168 properties right now. So I think there's a misconception that the developer has all the properties, they sell all the properties, they have all the traffic. And the reality is that's not the case. This is the proof right here, 168 properties under contract right now. That's not insignificant. It's not the largest number I've seen, but definitely it's a lot more. Keep this in mind. I've been the broker here. I actually started Realty Executives in the Villages back in 2004. And what the big difference now versus then, there was 12 properties on the market when the Villages, the developer actually left MLS. That's how many properties were on the market. The market was so much smaller, literally. We're talking about 2004, 5, 6, obviously up until 2004, 5, we're talking about north of 466. There wasn't anything south of 466 because that's when everything was built, south of 466. And of course, to 44 across the turnpike, all of that's been done over the last 16, 17 years. So lots of growth in the villages. But, since that time, MLS and the market share of MLS has grown incrementally. So let's look at what's on the available right now. Well, this is interesting. I didn't see this one before. This particular property here, auction property. I won't go too deep into auction properties, but this one's pending at $50,000. Who knows what it looks like on the inside? I'm sure it's not going to close at 50. You'll probably see it later that it sold for more than that. This one's interesting too. East Schwartz Boulevard. This is on the east side of 441. Looking at 936 square feet, small house, but under contract for 110,000. So no extra pictures. That's basically what we're looking at there. Giving you an idea on the lower end of the marketplace, that's typically what we see. Like, Lady Lake had a recent, actually interesting call this morning from an agent that works in Arizona that's going to be joining us here at Realty Executives. And he's like, you know what? I'm not interested in the new construction. I'm interested in more mature landscape. And I like the character of the Spanish Springs area. So that tends to be on the lower price range. You can actually get some real value in that area. Like you could still be in the 250s, 260s. And you're seeing, this is some of the pending properties here. Let's go up. If we were to look at, let's take the median price. You're talking about 168 homes that are pending. And if we take the median, which is like right about 83 homes, the median would be like this one here at 365,000. So as many properties, we've got equal amount of properties that are selling for under 365 as we do over. Median price 365. Okay, averages I think you're going to find is probably very similar, maybe a little bit higher than that, probably closer to 380, 390 for sure. Lots of properties, and you're seeing here. Let's take a look at what we're seeing. What kind of properties are selling? Courtyard villas. 3-2 courtyard villa at 365. Right, that's a thing. So if you're interested in courtyard villas, I know of a 2-2 that's coming on the market at 350. And by the way, if you have questions or you need help buying, I can help. Right, I can help find you the right person to help you out with that. 352-572-3796. 352-572-3796. If you have questions about that, finding a place, or you want to put your home on the market, or we also do property management and rentals, so you can connect with us there for sure. Just let me know and I'll get you with the right person. And also, this is the sales part of my video. Also want to let you know that I have a lot of contacts around the country. So even if you're somewhere else, a different market, and you need help in that market, like trying to figure out what your home is worth, trying to make an educated decision, I know a lot of people that can help you. So just let me know, text me for sure. Let's see. Let's look at Avon Loop. There's one Avon Loop that's a little bit, 399. This is a Cypress, right? The Cypress is right at 2,000 square feet. And this particular property was built in 2004, right? Giving you an idea of, values. Values have gone up. And I think the prices have come down for sure. We saw prices come down, but crash, no. And they haven't returned to 2018, 2019 pricing. So in other words, all the appreciation that was gained between 2019, 2020, all the way to 2022, which is where most of the appreciation took place, some of that has been given back, but certainly not all of it. And I don't see all of it. I don't see them going down to that price of 2018, 2019, simply because of the influx of people. And we still have pretty good demand here in the villages. New construction and resales, by the way, both. This is an interesting one. El Lobo Way, 2267 square feet. So, more square footage for this one, but higher price, right? So a little bit older, but more square footage, and it looks like it's in really good condition. Tells you, like, if something is sharp, it's selling. 449 pending price is that one on El Lobo. Let's look at the higher price range. Let's go to the higher price range. What's selling there? Because this has actually been one of the surprises, and I talked about this probably a couple of months ago, the amount of properties that are actually going under contract that are over $1 million, right? We're looking at, there's one at 3.9 million in Conservation Trail, 5,300 square feet. Another one on Russell Loop, another one on Conservation Trail, well over, Russell Loop at 2.3, Conservation Trail, nearly 2 million, Oakwood, 1.6, Lakeview, Laranaga, right? That's in Harmswood, Clearwater Run, 3, 6, 7 properties that are under contract for over $1 million. And we have two, actually it looks like two properties that are under contract for over 900. We've never really seen that. More time that's passed, we've seen more and more properties that are selling at higher price ranges for sure. But if you have questions about any of this, let's connect. Happy Friday. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I'm also getting word that it's starting to cool off around the country. So if you are in northern climates, you're not in Florida, text me or put it in the chat. I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear from all of you. So any questions, put that in the chat as well. Let me know what your temperature is. I'm going to show you something interesting. So let me know what your temperature is where you are, because I want to see what's happening around the country. Look, this was a tracker. Look at this on the bottom of the screen. 220 homes on MLS in the Villages, Florida, 9/2/2022. Right? That was a thing, just to give you an idea of what that looked like about a year ago. So questions, just let me know. Glenn Stein, broker owner, Realty Executives. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care.